This week on Storyboard, Coca-Cola gets students to provide solutions to the business challenges faced by the company. Thumbs Up urges the consumers to be tufani. And Cigna TTK Health Insurance is attempting to build a meaningful relationship with the consumers. Hello and welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani Gharat. Talent is the biggest issue faced by advertising agencies and marketers alike, especially with new technology and evolving consumer behavior. Coca-Cola has turned the challenge into an opportunity by involving digital natives in their marketing. The company runs a nationwide case challenge for students from India's top B schools, giving them an opportunity to present smart solutions for the beverage market in India. We have Storyboard editor Anant Rangaswami in conversation with Venkatesh Kini, President Coca-Cola India and Southwest Asia, along with representatives of the 4 finalists of Coca-Cola's National Level Business Case Study Challenge. Let's take a look.
Here we are sitting with the top manager at Coca-Cola India and representatives of 4 teams from 4 of the finest B schools. Actually, there are 2 from IIM-A of the country who took part in a case study challenge. Now, why does Coca-Cola campus do case study challenge? That's a question we need to ask. So, start with you. So, Kini, what were you expecting of this challenge?
We were looking forward to these youngsters coming up with out-of-the-box ideas, given that this is the most digitally savvy generation we have ever seen, and come up with solutions to the business challenge we posed them that our own teams couldn't have thought of.
Right.
So surprise and delight us.
Right. So did you surprise and delight? What did you think of the challenge? I mean, at campus you're inundated with case study concepts.
There's lots of academic stuff, but
right.
The beauty of the case.
So tell me first about yourself.
My name is Vikram Agarwal and I'm from Ahmedabad.
Right.
And so the beauty about the case study competition was that the case study itself was so beautifully prepared that we got a lot of insights from the case study about the business model of Coke itself. And also always this kind of case study competitions gives us a platform to think of the practical problems that companies are facing other than those old cases that we discuss in classrooms.
Right.
And we put on our thinking caps and try to solve a practical problem for a company, which enriches our knowledge a lot.
Right. So come to you and tell me who you are.
I'm Amita and I'm also from Ahmedabad. I really feel that the experience was enriching because we were allocated a mentor who will guide us through the entire journey, and the inputs that we got from the mentor were really helpful because we were always thinking about the core idea, and we didn't put that much thought into the implementation part. So sometimes I think it's very necessary that you get into touch with the people who are practically working on the ground, and that's where the entire solution lies.
Tell me about your college.
My name is Shidaj Gupta. I'm from IIM Pune. 3 words if I would like to summarize it: amazing, challenging and creative. It was a case which actually made me think like on the ground. We have learned theory in the classes, but how to implement it, this type of case studies make us understand. Right. And with associating it with such a brand as Coca-Cola gives us a very large platform in such a large scale to think about.
Right. And finally to you, which college?
I'm Himanshu Singh. I'm from FMS Delhi.
Right.
Talking about the case study, first of all, it was a privilege to solve it for such a big brand, and the problem was a contemporary one. I mean, it's a problem that every business is facing today. And to solve it, we had to think from all the angles, be it financial, be it marketing, and most importantly, operational. So for this, we did lots of research, and on the basis of that, we finally came up with a solution. We thought about various pros and cons, and finally tried to...
Okay, tell me about the solution that you presented.
So our solution basically tried to involve the ecosystem that is presently over there. We try to utilize the biggest asset of Coca-Cola, that is their robust supply chain. I mean, you can find a Coca-Cola retailer almost every nook and corner. So we tried to utilize that. We tried to make the delivery system through that retailer. And the ordering we made through an app, so that the order of customer goes through an app, and then finally our app finds a retailer in the vicinity of a customer, and through that retailer we got to deliver the product.
So Kini, is that going to work? I mean, it's a lovely sounding idea.
Well, it's it's an idea that I think has a lot of legs.
Right.
It also makes sure that we leverage and benefit the small retailer,
Right.
who
So you drive
is
business
at
to
the
him.
who's at the the backbone of our business.
Right. So tell me about your solution.
So the way we saw the case study was to improve the current Coke to home model, and our idea was also similar to what he has just said. But the only difference was that we are also partnering with a delivery agent who would procure the goods, the Coke bottles from the retailer and deliver it to the consumers, and we'll be managing the app and everything. So to summarize our idea in one line, I would say that even through a new model of Coke, we are doing what we do best as Coke, and we are letting our partners, the retailers, the delivery agents, do what they do best.
Right. So you're not making them learn something new, nor are you doing something which you're not competent doing. So tell me about yours.
So our solution basically had a pyramid kind of a model. Basically, at the lowest level, making them sure that they have a platform on which they can build up even for a future purpose. On top of that, we are looking at our customers who are different aggregators like Zomato, Grofers and all. And on top of that, we have our end consumers who actually go and consume Coke. So I think we tried to integrate all these solutions into one and provide a solution that will go on for a longer period.
And finally, as IBM, what is your
Actually, whenever we think about Coca-Cola, we come across why would anyone demand it online when you can get it at an arm's length. So the biggest thing was make it a part of everyday's life. Like we tapped the different verticals like travel, dining, accommodation, and leisure, entertainment, every particular vertical, and we thought to tie up with the best players in the segment like Grofers, Zomato, Domino's, Inox, Book My Show, with a different proposition such that we create a win-win approach for both, like monetizing the complete model. So that was a solution which we actually leverage upon. And looking at the supply side, we know Coca-Cola is known for its robust supply chain. So initially, we would like to leverage upon the supply chain of Coca-Cola plus the supply chain of these people.
supply chain or distribution chain?
Supply chain and distribution both.
Right.
If it's a complete network and ecosystem.
Right.
And apart from that, leveraging the current supply chain of the different applications like Grofers and all. Then in the meantime, in 5 to 10 years, establishing our own supply chain for the online space particularly.
Right. One of the beauties of case study challenges for colleges is that while they're not always completely practical, there are germs of brilliance that you see. So what are the germs of brilliance you've seen from not just the finalists but from the others as well?
Yeah, I think as you said, there's always elements of the aha or the wow in all these ideas that come up, not only from the four but the others.
Right.
And sometimes the brief may be in one direction, but the idea comes and solves a different challenge or problem. So as we think about some of the solutions that they proposed, it may even help improve our existing business.
Right.
And our existing route to market by leveraging digital technology to be more efficient with our retailers. Or for that matter, help us work better with our partners, as one of the teams has proposed, to offer a win-win solution with the partners that may help the partners do better with their customers.
Right.
And offer more value. So it's not necessarily about just selling more Coke, but also helping our partners sell more Pepper.
Right. All of you created this for Coke, but do you think your solution would apply to any other product category or as easily?
So I'm sure that it would apply to other categories, mostly F&B and FMCG categories. But it would also require a brand which has a lot of SKUs. So
Right.
otherwise, it would not be feasible for a company to do it just for one product.
Right.
So for Coke has so many SKUs, therefore it's feasible for it.
Right. Now, one of the problems with being on campus is you don't have too much time to. I mean, you're bothered about your placement and you're on the placecom and you have your exams and you have the grades and how much time do you really get to work on the research for something? Because this requires a lot of hard work. There's a question I'm going to ask all of you. So we start with you.
So the idea is that solving all this case competition, we also learn to put a lot of night outs.
Right.
So essentially, after participating in all these competitions, I've learned to live without sleeping for a stretch of
But
about
you're
48 hours. Yeah.
But you don't have much else to do. So how do you manage?
So we are always burdened with a lot of club activities and academic work. But yes, so it gives us an opportunity to enable our bodies to function for about 48 hours at a stretch without sleeping, and use the sleeping time to work on the competitions.
So you drink Coke to keep us awake.
Absolutely.
And what about you? Like I said, research is a very important aspect. Unless you get insights from somewhere, you're not going to be able to find a solution. So what is the process
So
like?
I think it's very essential that we get to know what the person who is actually consuming a Coke thinks about it. I may think in a different way, but many times when you go and talk to people that is this the way that you think it is going to operate, and many times you get to know things that you didn't even expect, and I think there is from that point onwards we build upon it, and that's the way to do it. So research plays a very critical role in.
So do you think young people will buy colas increasingly on a digital platform through e-commerce? I mean, I wouldn't. I'm a digital immigrant, but do you think the future is about selling through solutions like this?
So basically we are not asking people to buy online.
Right.
When you buy online, you are just making sure that this is also available, so you may want to try.
Right.
So that is something that we are looking for. So I think when we buy something online, definitely if I'm getting this is there, then I would like to give it a shot.
So now I'll ask you, what did you do for your research? You mentioned the word research. You said you do a lot of research. So what do you do? Because for me, research is not Google. Research is a little deeper than. So tell me what you did.
Like as we have all understood earlier, like research includes two level things. First, you will research through Google that way because you have to understand what to research for,
Right.
where to look. Then you do primary research to understand the current trends. So ours was a two-pronged strategy regarding this. We extensively Googled, took insights from professors, our seniors, our alumnus regarding on this matters. And then for the primary research, we went out extensively out, talking to retailers. Like as our proposition was combining different application and all. So we have talked to different people, stakeholders in this company. Maybe the customers who have used this, or maybe the people working in this companies to understand the different models and implement it in a solution.
And finally, I want to ask you, what is the role of the mentor? Now, a mentor is very important in a case study contest, so that you're not going off track, and then you can't recover often. So tell me.
Well, exactly. You said it very right. From the beginning, though we had the idea, it was our mentor who actually made us look at the focus on the right points and get rid of the negatives or some of the weak points in our whole idea. So the role of the mentor from the very beginning has been very crucial, and actually he is the one who made us believe that yes, your idea is very good and it can very well work.
Yeah. And now that this exercise is the second year you've done this, and at least looking at the enthusiasm of the students, it's going well. So what is the next step? Where do you take this and leverage the learnings from this year and the last year?
Well, as you said, this is the second year. We've learned a few things through this whole process. We definitely want to build on it, continue to do what's working, but also find ways to broaden the appeal beyond the campuses that we're going, and also find ways to get more partners on board.
Right. That's one of the things I was coming to, that all the B-School challenges, at least at the, are held during their course, and they don't have time. So maybe one should look at a construct where you go beyond their course, or maybe 1 month after, when they've all got their placement offers, and maybe that's the time they have the bandwidth.
Well, there's also another possibility which I think we should work with the campuses is, given the amount of time, effort and energy that they put into this, I would hope and expect that the campuses eventually and professors give them credit for the work that they do.
Sure.
And I believe that's an idea on the table with some campuses.
Perfect. Thank you, Kini, and thank all of you. One of you is going to win, but all of you deserve to win. It's one of those things with contests, but well done.
It is time for us to slip into a short break. When we return, we get to see the extravagant commercial for Thumbs Up featuring Salman Khan, and then take a look at Cigna TTK Health Insurance's new campaign.